full exercise of choice would invigorate the public school system, would improve it. Why? Competition always has that effect. It's a disgrace of the nation, in my opinion, that you should have the inner cities, which are the kind of hells that they now are. Living conditions are deplorable. There's no safety, there's no security, there's no protection. The schools in those areas turn out kids who can't read, who can't write, who can't figure. They have no economic future.
Milton and Rose say that parents should be able to direct their tax money to any school of their choice, public or private, secular or religious. Today, some states and cities are experimenting. Here in Milwaukee, the oldest and largest program in the country is limited to only 15,000 poor students. And the school choice voucher is worth little more than half of what would be spent on a child in a public school. Mesmer High School and its elementary school are private inner-city Catholic schools, certainly no bastions of privilege. Students come from some of the poorest, roughest neighborhoods in the city. Tiara Gibson recently transferred to Mesmer.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else because the atmosphere here is great. The school I went to for my first 2 years of high school was a public school, and it was supposed to be a college-bound school, but you had metal detectors to walk through to get to class certain times of the year. Students yelling, screaming, cursing, fighting. It was just horrible.
The state of Wisconsin requires that voucher schools take every child who applies, regardless of their academic record. Still, at Mesmer, nearly 90% go on to college. Jeff Monday is the high school principal.
It is a matter of justice that a parent is able to use a voucher, which is power. Money is power.
Harvard professor Caroline Hawksby researches voucher programs across the country, including students in the Milwaukee program.
They appear to be doing better in the voucher schools after about 3 to 4 years. We can see statistically significant improvements in their achievement in math and reading.
Everybody.
So they're doing a little bit better, spending about half of the money.
Everybody on page 8?
The voucher program also impacts the Milwaukee public schools.
There were just staggering changes in a couple of years. There are schools in Milwaukee that stood to lose virtually 100% of their students if they didn't do something to ensure that their students didn't leave with a voucher. We saw those schools improve their student achievement more in the first 2 years after the voucher program expanded than they had in the previous 30, 35 years.
I don't assume that private schools are better than public schools. I assume that competition is a way in which both public and private schools can be required to satisfy their customers.
Let's start with number 5 up there.
In which the bad private schools will fail and the bad public schools will fail. So the fundamental assumption is simply that competition is better than monopoly.